Hi guys, today's topic is a very important topic if you're doing web development with Python. The basic principle of doing web development is always stay up to date. You need to read about security updates, you need to read about CVEs, and so on and so on. I'm looking at a private project of mine here that is using Django 1.8 right now, and it's installed on my personal server, and obviously I should always be keeping the libraries up to date. Now for my operating system, which is a Debian on my web server, this is automatically kept up to date with security updates, and occasionally, like once a month, I just check for other updates that are not security updates that should be applied. But what about your Python libraries, especially when you're using a virtual environment like I am doing here and I'm doing on my server? So basically, you will end up having libraries installed that are compatible with your project, but they're not necessarily the latest version. So well, you could probably do something like pip list minus outdated, and it will show you that you have outdated packages, and trust me, you will always have outdated packages. For instance, this little tool here uses Django 1.8.10, and the latest version of Django is 1.11.7. The same is true for Django REST Framework. We are on 3.6.4, but there is also 3.7.3 available, and there's a couple of outdated libraries that could potentially be updated, right? Okay. But now, if you look at that, I'm not sure how much of my viewership knows about Django, but Django works with not yet correct versioning or semantic versioning, but it basically works like this. 1.8 is the major version, and 0.10 is the kind of patch version. And so 1.11 is definitely incompatible with 1.8. You will get problems when you upgrade from 1.8 to 1.11. So I definitely do not want to upgrade to 1.11. But I do want to upgrade to a newer 1.8 version. Now, if you have a proper requirements.txt, which I probably have, yeah, I could obviously just do pip install -r requirements.txt and minus upgrade. That will upgrade all libraries within the specification of this requirements.txt. However, this is probably not always the case. You will end up having fixed versions like I do for PyMySQL or NumPy that you should update regularly. And obviously you should also test that your application is still compatible with those, but that's another topic. Today I want to talk to you about how do you find out if there's a new version about Django 1.8 available. Well, you say easy, just go to djangoproject.org and look at the downloads or the changelog or whatever, and then go to Django REST Framework and look at the changelog, and then go to PyMySQL and look at the changelog, and I hope you're seeing where this is going. Now, some of you will probably tell, well, you could also just go to Python package index and see what's going on in there. But I'm a big fighter against manual work, and a colleague and friend of mine has created this nice little tool called Updateable that you can install from the Python package index. I will put the command in the video description and link the GitHub repository of this. Essentially, I've already installed it here. As you can see, it's everything satisfied. And if I call Updateable, I get a list of packages that can be updated. Obviously, that's the same as pip list minus outdated is doing, but I get them sorted. It does try to use semantic versioning, which is obviously not always correct, but it does work very, very well. And let's see if we can find Django. There is Django. I have installed Django 1.8. It tells me there are major releases available. That's the 2.0, which I definitely don't want to go if I'm on 1.8, because I would have to do a lot of work for upgrading from 1.8. But I would like to go on the next 1.8 release, so let's see. 1.9. There you go. It's listed under patch releases because I am on 1.8, so 1.8 is my next patch level is 1.8.18. So I now know in April there was a version released, the newest version, and I can switch to that. I can install that version using pip install. So pip install Django 1.8.18. And then I've got the latest Django version installed. The same is true for almost all other packages that use some kind of semantic versioning. Oh, it's not letting me scroll, sorry for that. So for instance, PyTimezone has an update that I can probably safely install because it's only timezone information. Django REST framework has updates, but maybe I don't want to install them because 3.6 is the latest patch version, is 3.6.4, and 3.7 is the next minor release, and there might be breaking changes. So obviously this little tool does not prevent or help you if you need to read the changelog. It doesn't do that for you, but it gives you a good clue. Is my next update available? Is there a minor release? Is there a patch release available? And obviously this tool is open source, so feel free to improve it. Feel free to check up on the versioning process, which, by the way, this is like determining which version is what is usually done with Python method. I think it's in setup tools or something. But feel free to contribute to that project or to just give it a try. And if you want to learn one thing from this little video is just whatever way you do, keep your Python packages up to date and maybe just look at long-term support releases. Alright, thanks for watching. If you like this kind of videos and you want more of that stuff, please give me a thumbs up, write a comment or whatever. Thanks and goodbye.